Okay, so guys, I'm very excited to be here with you, finally making this video I've been wanting to make for a while, because I really believe that as I share with you guys my experience trying out for junior college baseball, there's a lot that you guys can learn, there's a lot that I learned, and really me, I want to share my story so that maybe it can empower you guys to be able to go out, work hard, and to believe that, baseball is something that you can achieve, that this is something you can really do, because I love baseball with all my heart, and there's nothing, excuse me for a sec, excuse me, there's nothing that I want more than to be able to be successful on the baseball field at the highest level. So a little background with me, I started playing baseball when I was 9 years old, and I fell in love with the game, and I continued to play it every year in Little League and enjoyed it. My dad even coached our Little League team, which was just phenomenal, and I played all the way up until my freshman year of high school. But my freshman year of high school is when things started to take a turn for the worse in terms of playing baseball. So when I came into high school, what started to happen to me is that I started to care way too much what people thought about me on the baseball field. So I kept overthinking what my teammates thought about me, what my coaches thought about me, what the rest of my high school peers would think about me if I didn't succeed playing baseball. So I was constantly scared, I couldn't be myself on the field. I didn't allow myself to have fun. Whenever I went to conditioning or tryouts, like literally, I was scared to death. I was scared of the varsity coach because I was only a freshman. I was intimidated by the JC, well, not JC, but the JV, I meant to say, JV and varsity players. They intimidated me. And, this wasn't the best environment to be putting myself in mentally. So with all that being said, freshman year was just not a good year, and I really lost the passion to play baseball. It just wasn't fun anymore because of how I made it, stressed out about it. I felt like I was constantly just trying to survive. And when I lost the passion my sophomore year, I stopped going to conditioning. Because remember, that was when conditioning for me, basically, I was just stressed. Every day after school, when I went to conditioning, I was just out there just trying to survive. And then when it came down to tryouts, I felt obligated to try out because, again, I was thinking about what people would think about me, that if I didn't go to tryouts, I was gonna, I would get made fun of. I would be like, wow, Travis, you're a wimp, you didn't go to tryouts. So when I went to tryouts, like I said, I gave him my best effort, but I didn't make the team. And I guess I didn't make the team because of my throwing arm. So they had a new coach there, and it didn't make a lot of sense because a lot of the guys said that I should have made the team, that I was better than a lot of players that made the team. So that didn't really make sense. And when I hit, I did pretty good because I started going to weight training my sophomore year. I had weight training, so I really enjoyed that a lot, and I had a lot of fun with that. So after I didn't make the team my sophomore year, that was it for me. Like I essentially had hung up my spikes and I was done. And then really here we are now today, as I'm 22 years old, here sharing with you guys as I decided to make a comeback and start playing baseball again. And really, I've learned just, I've really learned what you have to be able to do to be successful in baseball. And really it's about your mentality, because baseball is, you fail obviously 7 out of 10 times in hitting. If you hit 300, you get 3 hits and 10 at-bats, and you're a Hall of Famer if you do that. So really, baseball, you really got to have a short-term memory, because if you have a bad game, you can't let it linger on to the next game. So what I've really learned now, and what really all of us should take in, is when you're going to a tryout, like a junior college tryout or any major tryout, just remind yourself to have fun. One of the current Giants top prospects right now, Tyler Beede, that's what he personally had told me over social media, because I asked him for advice on baseball tryouts, and he just said, one of the main things he said was remind yourself to have fun. So when you're going out there, um, remind yourself to have fun, enjoy the game, and just give it your best effort. Be positive, you know. And so to share my experience with you guys, okay, it was not the best experience because I felt like I could have done so much better in the tryout than I did. So the way I go to school at Diablo Valley College, and for our tryouts, basically what we did was we did 3 scrimmage games. So it was on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We played 6 innings, and basically you were in the lineup, you played defense. In my case, I played right field, and I had about 2 at-bats a game. So, and now we're going to talk about defensively. So defensively, I was very rusty. When the balls were coming off the bat to me, I did my best, but I'll be honest, I felt like I didn't practice enough on my defense. And when I mean I didn't practice, I mean judging fly balls. So people think that fly balls are easy, but when it comes down to it, you know, you really got to be precise about what you're doing. You got to have a good first step. You got to, obviously, first step is always back, and then you judge the fly ball off the bat. And so I had a hard time judging the fly balls, probably because essentially I didn't practice a whole lot with fly balls. So one of the things I would really like to do is get a machine that would essentially pitch me fly balls so I can really practice. But so I made some errors in the outfield. One ball I even lost in the sun because I didn't have sunglasses, so that wasn't smart on my part. So really know if it's going to be daylight or something, because that's the most embarrassing feeling, to lose a ball in the sun. And for me, it was just embarrassing. My at-bats weren't... So in my 4 at-bats from the scrimmages, so from Tuesday and Wednesday, I had 2 strikeouts, I had 1 walk, and I had a fielder's choice. So the walk was nice because when I got on base, I stole second, and then I scored on a base hit to the outfield. So I was really pumped about that. In the second game was when things took a turn for the worse, as during my at-bat, it was a 2-strike count and there was a pitch coming, and then I went to swing and the ball basically clipped my left hand. So I'm left-handed. It clipped my left hand and badly bruised my pinky and my 4th finger. And when this happened, oh man, like my hand was basically on fire. When I went out to the outfield the next inning, I could feel the pain as I would try to throw the ball, but I finished the game. I went home that day thinking that, okay, I'm going to ice my arm, it's going to feel better by tomorrow, and I'm going to, you know, the last day, I'm going to give it my best shot. So I went out there the next day and just, well, I mean, the next day came, and when I woke up, my hand just wasn't feeling good, and I really did want to go finish the tryout, but the thing is my hand just wasn't 100%, and so it didn't make sense to really put myself at further injury. And I felt embarrassed to show up and tell him I couldn't play, because I mean, just think, like, if you're in my shoes, obviously what are you gonna do? Like, you know, in terms of how I played, I didn't necessarily know if I was gonna make the team, but I didn't feel 100% healthy, so I decided to basically, you know, take what I could from this tryout and then just try to get better for next year's tryout. So that's essentially to sum up my story with trying out. And so with my experience, you know, what I learned was obviously defensively, really, guys, train, you know, whatever position you are. If you're going to be playing infield, practice a lot of ground balls. If you're going to be doing outfield like I do, you know, practice really judging fly balls. So when it comes to the game, you're feeling confident and able to judge those fly balls. Hitting wise, I mean, hitting, there's so much that comes into hitting. So some of the things that I've learned about hitting recently is, one of the things is you want to kind of have a rhythm when you're up there. So you don't want to be a statue, be frozen, and then when the ball's coming at you, whatever speed, 90, 95 miles an hour, it's going to be very hard to use your body to swing when you're a statue. Like, that's a lot of muscle movement. So always have a rhythm, you know. And if you look at Major League hitters, they do have some type of rhythm. Their hands are moving before the pitch comes, and, you know, they're better able to time it because their body's already ready to basically explode on the ball and, you know, make a good swing at it. So yeah, when you're going to tryout, remember, remind yourself to have fun. And one of the big things is preparation is key. So all the work that you do behind the scenes, on your off days, at the gym, throwing, hitting, off a tee, going to the cages, just remember that when it comes to the actual tryout day, you're going to be wishing that you had spent every day preparing for that tryout, so then when it comes to the tryout, you're ready to really do the best that you can. You know, because in that moment when you're trying out, you're not thinking about anything else but, you know, trying to have a good game. Like, really, you're not concerned about how much money's in your bank account. You're not going to be concerned about, you know, what you're going to eat after, or what you're going to go, where you're going to go on vacation next year. I don't know, but all that you're going to be focused on is that tryout. So remember, preparation is key. Do the most that you can so that you can build success off of how you prepare. If you really feel like you put in your best effort and, you know, things went the way that they did, positive or negative, learn from it and just try to get better. That's a big one. Just always try to get better every day and never quit, never give up. If you guys like this video, give it a comment, like, subscribe. I'm going to be making a lot more baseball videos, sharing my experience with you guys, with things that I've learned, tryouts upcoming. So I was really excited to share this with you guys and what I learned, and hope it can help some of you guys to become better and be inspired to really believe that you can do this. So, you know, if you don't make the team, don't quit, you know, and always believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. And whenever if you make an error on defense, pick your head up, run to the dugout. If you strike out, run back to the dugout. Always hustle. Coaches will see that. You know, they'll see the effort and they will appreciate that effort. Coaches want a player that's willing to learn and that's willing to work hard. That's any coach, that's what they want. So remember that. Big shout out to @Clan of the Clouds. He's a really good music producer. If you guys are interested in getting any beats, hit me up and let me know.